Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Video Game Movie Month here on Reaction and Review. Yes, guys, I am dedicating this entire month to movies based on video games, and we're kicking off the month with a movie from 2009. That movie is The King of Fighters. Now, I'd love to tell you guys anything about the King of Fighters franchise, but I don't know a thing about it outside of the fact that the company that makes the games is SNK. I could probably rattle off the names of maybe 2, possibly 3 characters, but I know nothing about the franchise. I know nothing because I've never played a King of Fighters game in my lifetime. That's partially because I'm not a big fan of fighting games. Now, while I say I'm not a big fan of fighting games, I have found myself to be a bit of a fan of fighting game movies. I really enjoyed Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Annihilation. I even found something kind of watchable out of that piece of shit DOA movie. So this thing does have a small bit of hope, because apparently I have a soft spot for movies based on fighting games, even though I don't play fighting games because it's a genre I don't care for. I don't know what the plot to this is. I don't know if it's going to be any good at all. The only way I'm going to find out, though, is if I shut up and I push play, and I'm going to do that right now. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out King of Fighters. You know how I mentioned, guys, I really liked all those other, fighting game movies, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, DOA. You wanna know why I liked them? Because they were able to hit the fucking ground, running. And they were able to give us a short, sweet summary of the plot, and they dump us right into the action and try to weave the narrative in. This movie has spent the better part of 5 minutes now hitting us with a massive story fucking dump. All of it is boring as shit. I really don't think any of it is going to tie into the actual tournament once we finally get into the goddamn tournament. Ultimately, guys, this thing is off to a very dry, boring, start, and I certainly hope that it gets better. Well, guys, I have found 2 problems with this movie so far. The first problem, this is a big one. The writing fucking sucks. We're almost a half an hour in to a movie based on a fighting game series. We've had one fight scene, and said fight scene was shit. Now, the second problem, besides the terrible writing, is the abysmal acting. I was expecting our cast to at least know what the fuck they were doing. Most of these people sound as if they've never been in front of a camera in their entire life, and it renders every line of dialogue just painful to hear. And I've got another hour of this shit to get through, guys. This is gonna suck, and it's gonna suck fucking bad unless this movie begins to improve real goddamn quick. Alright, guys, I officially know why I hate this movie so fucking much. Because, when most movies are trying to tell a backstory for a character, or in this case, a clan, we might get like a full-blown flashback, something that might be interesting to watch. Instead, we have 2 characters who are sitting next to each other on a fucking couch, and one of them is basically doing story time for the other one. We never cut away from the scene. It is boring as shit to watch. Whole thing is made even worse by the fact that the story being told is boring as shit. I would love it, guys, if I could find even one character, one person in this film I could give even half a shit about. But this movie is actively going out of its way to make every single one of these characters as dull as possible. And it's making this goddamn thing a fucking chore. And I can't wait for it to fucking end. Alright, guys, I have a fucking question, and I totally understand that this is a trivial one, but goddammit, this movie is so boring, and I just noticed it. Is there a reason why every single shot in this movie is a fucking Dutch angle? Is there seriously a reason why every single picture, every single shot is tilted? Is there really a reason for it? Guys, I just noticed it. This is really, it looks horrible when every shot is a fucking Dutch angle. You're usually supposed to use those things sparingly. My God. So, literally, guys, we can't even put camera work into something good, which means this movie's literally got nothing going for it. And the only good news is I've only got about a half an hour left, so at least there's a positive there. This shit's almost done. Oh my god, guys, are we actually getting a cutaway? Are we actually getting a proper flashback when someone's giving more worthless, pointless, unnecessary backstory? Holy shit, we fucking are! It took them almost the entire goddamn movie to do it, and I really do not give a front-flipping fuck about anything being said here, because none of these characters are worth giving even half a shit about, but you know what? I am at least happy that they learned how to do a flashback, because it would probably have made, because, well, it actually making this story a little bit more tolerable, would probably have made every other story a little bit more fucking tolerable, too. It's sort of a pity our filmmakers didn't fucking learn this lesson until almost an hour and 20 minutes into their 90-minute movie. Well, guys, that was the King of Fighters, and Jesus Christ, the music playing over the closing credits is absolute shit. Which I guess is sort of par for the course, considering the fact that the entire movie was garbage. Holy fuck. Shut up. Okay. Oh my god. I don't even know what to fucking say. Okay. I would like to say right now, I have to stress this again. I've never played a King of Fighters game in my entire life. So I don't know what the backstory is in the games. I don't know what the plot is of the games. I'm going to take a real fucking educated guess, because it's a fighting game. Probably has something to do with some kind of a tournament. Probably the King of Fighters tournament. I'm just going to assume. And that is featured in here. Perhaps maybe someone who's played the games could answer a couple of questions for me, though, because some of this doesn't seem to make a lick of sense. One, why the hell are the fights held in some kind of an alternate fucking dimension? Two, why the hell does every fighter have to be teleported into said alternate dimension by taking a 99-cent Bluetooth earpiece and jamming it in their fucking ear? Three, when they get launched into said alternate world, why the hell does their clothing change? And why do the fights suck so bad? I'm going to get to fight, choreography in a bit, but I want to touch on writing, because really, guys, almost everything I've touched on is all about writing. I do not understand why the fights have to be held in some kind of, like, alternate fucking world, and why when you go into this alternate world, your clothing completely changes. So Terry, who is a CIA agent who's decked out in a suit for the entire film, shows up in an orange puffy vest and a douchebag trucker hat. I don't know why. I don't know why they because I know that's kind of what Terry wore in the games. I have seen screenshots of Terry Bogard, and I know he has the trucker hat and the shitty orange, puffy fucking jacket. I totally understand that. But why the hell doesn't he wear that in the real world? Why does it all of a sudden appear on him when he goes into this alternate world? Why the hell are we told that this fucking, demon, this it was the fucking Orochi, is this massive serpent, and when we see it, it's just like a little ball of, like, lightning fucking snakes that's maybe about this big. This, guys, and it just being snakes is not exactly the grand, horrible serpent we were told about way early on during one of the many info dumps this movie decided to give. I want to make a point clear, guys, alright? I have always said that a film lives and dies by its story, and that also includes action films. When your story is directly hindering action from appearing in your action film, we have a bit of a problem. When you don't know how to do flashbacks, when you're giving us all of this backstory, and instead it's just two characters staring at each other as one of them drones on about backstory that has almost nothing to do with the film itself, and is just trying to make you give a shit about the world of King of Fighters. Again, I don't know if any of the shit that they talk about is even, accurate to the games, but still, they just drone on and on. Guys, you can count. I never thought I'd say this. There's maybe about 7 fight scenes in this entire film. Alright, a movie about a fighting tournament, based on a fighting game, has that few fight scenes? And mind you, guys, I actually am kind of, no, well, see, and I'm actually kind of like blending them too, because when you have Fight A, Fight B, and Fight C all going on at the same goddamn time, I count that as one fight. Alright, and the fact that they all kind of sort of bleed into each other at times, that technically is like 4 or 5 fight scenes that are like strung out across like 4 minutes, but I count it as one because there is no break in any of it. You know, it's like, so we get tons and tons of exposition and bullshit plot for the first like hour, and then the last half hour they all of a sudden went, wait, duh, this is a fucking action film, and then they hit us with fight scenes. Now I'm going to talk about the fight choreography. This is some of the shittiest fight choreography I think I've ever seen. Besides the fact that most of it is piss poor attempts at wire fighting, and it doesn't even look like good wire fighting at, you know, that. No, there is not a single punch or kick thrown here that has any kind of impact. Part of that is because when a character goes in to punch another character, oftentimes the camera is pointed here so you can see that the punch misses by a fucking mile. And that's totally noticeable in our very first fight, and then later on they try to cover it by basically putting in like fireballs and lightning flashes with every single punch, so that way you don't see that the punches are missing by this much when a character's being hit. Excuse me. And not only that, guys, not only do we have nothing here which has any kind of impact, every single fight is just incredibly, like, stiff. It is somehow both stiff and sloppy. They do not know how to, nobody in this film knows how to throw a punch. Nobody in this film knows how to take a punch. And because of that, every single fight looks like shit. And also, nobody in this film knows how to properly handle a weapon or swing a weapon, so any time that people are starting to throw out, like, swords and baseball bats and shit, it gets even worse. Okay? I'm gonna tell you guys right now, the only time that anything was actually fucking weaponized and it looked halfway decent is when Terry hit a hobo with a garbage bag. That, I swear to God, that is the only time that anything in this film was actually fucking weaponized and it looked halfway decent. Otherwise, every other instance looks like shit. Oh my God. And, you know, all of that, and all that is made even worse because our cameraman, or rather our camera crew, suck at filming anything. Alright, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I mentioned it earlier, Dutch angles are everywhere in this film. Dutch angles, for those of you who do not know, is when rather than framing your shot normally, you film it with the camera tilted. Alright? And I said that I would like to see a shot that actually is level. And you do see that when the camera's doing like a slow pan. The problem is the camera's level as it's doing the slow pan, and then as it comes to a stop, it's still Dutch angles. Why? What the fuck was the purpose of that? And guys, when we aren't trying to, you know, and when everything isn't tilted, the cameras are trying to track these fights, and apparently the cameraman has fucking Parkinson's because the camera's jittering and shaking everywhere and you can't fucking see shit. It is most noticeable when Mai and Terry are running through this little alley and they're kicking hobos into fucking doors and shit. Or correction, Mai is kicking hobos into fucking doors and garbage cans and everything else, and she might be hitting a hobo here, but the camera's framed like this, so you don't see a fucking thing because apparently the cameraman was working with a fucking handheld and was trying to run with them, and the camera's bouncing around with them. It looks like shit, and that is true with every fight where the fucking camera has to move. It's jittery and it's shit, and it actually takes a bad fight scene and makes it fucking worse. Holy shit! And another problem with these fucking fight scenes is the mountain of CG that gets thrown in. CG lightning, CG flames, just CG sparks for no fucking reason besides we need to hide the fact that our punches are missing by 6 inches. You know, just all these other problems that just continue to build up. The worst part, guys, when it comes to the CG flames, is that they will be on a set where there's shit in the background on fire. fire, and the CG flames do not match the actual practical flames on set. Which means that now we have CG flames that look even worse because they don't match actual fucking flame. Jesus shit. If you were gonna use that much, if you're gonna use that much CG flame, did you need to have the burning car in the background of one of your shots? And the burning garbage cans and all the other shit that is on fire in the goddamn alleyway in the final fight sequence. Jesus shit. And on top of all that, guys, our fucking acting is crap. Nobody here tried. Nobody put in the slightest effort. Our score sucks. Our soundtrack is shit. The only thing, guys, that I could probably say is a positive is that at least the shots are lit, are fucking lit well. It's really sad, guys, but the only thing I can fucking say is that the shots are lit well. Oh, and the sound mix is okay. You know, like, everything actually is, like, mixed well in terms of, you know, like, dialogue being heard and everything else, and Foley effects are halfway decent. But guys, all of this is basic shit that nobody should be able to fuck up. Then again, I would also normally put camera work in there, and this thing absolutely shit the fucking bed when it came to camera work. Oh my god, guys, I really thought that when I sat down and I said, I'm going to do a video game movie month. I'm going to avoid anything directed by Uwe, you know, Boll. It can't be that bad. This thing makes any of Uwe Boll's films look like fucking gold. I would rather re-watch House of the Dead again than I would rather watch Alone in the Dark again than watch this thing. I would rather try my damnedest to get through Blood Rain 3 again. Jesus shit, this thing fucking sucked. There is not a single scene in this movie that works. Nothing here is done right. This, guys, is quite possibly one of the worst video game movies I have ever fucking seen. And I never thought I'd say that about a movie that wasn't directed by Uwe fucking Boll. This thing sucks massive throbbing dick. How the hell do you fuck up a fighting game movie this badly? Mortal Kombat Annihilation didn't fuck up as badly as this, but then again, that's also because Mortal Kombat Annihilation is lovably campy and stupid, and you can laugh as you're fucking watching it. This thing, guys, is so bad that it's just fucking hideous. There is no reason to sit down and watch this for any reason at all. Oh my fuck. I still don't know who half of these fucking characters were, but then again, that goes back into writing, because there's no one here with any fucking depth at all. We are given mountains of backstory, and it still leaves all these characters shallow and worthless, which shows you how bad the writing fucking was. Guys, I could probably sit here and bitch about this movie all goddamn night, but I'm not going to, okay? I am done talking about this piece of shit. So can I recommend King of Fighters? No. This movie, and every person who worked on it, can go fuck themselves. Jesus fucking God. I really thought, guys, we were going to be off to a good start. I have a whole month's worth of video game movies lined up here, and I looked at King of Fighters and said, you know, this thing might actually be halfway decent. So I'm going to start off with that. What a fucking mistake that was. Holy shit. Anyway, guys, King of Fighters came off the Amazon wish list. The person who sent it in was Robert, and I'm going to provide a link to Robert's Amazon profile. Please, guys, by all means, swing out there, check out everything he has. Robert, I thank you, because I was genuinely curious if this movie was going to be any good. I kind of feared it was going to suck a little bit. I did not expect it to suck this fucking much. Holy shit. But dude, I honestly would not have known if you hadn't sent it in, and for that I thank you. Once more, guys, please swing on over to Robert's Robert's Amazon profile. Check out everything he has written there. Oh my god. You know what? I mentioned Mortal Kombat Annihilation earlier. I do have that on Blu-ray. It's sitting right there on my Blu-ray shelf. I'm gonna go fucking watch that, because goddammit, because I want to be reminded of exactly how you can make a fighting game movie, make it kind of shit, but still make it likable and watchable. Anyway, guys, with that, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.